Has our society been forever changed by guidelines that, it turns out, were not grounded in science? This is the question we find ourselves grappling with in the wake of recent revelations from Dr. Anthony Fauci. In the year 2020, the world was thrown into chaos by the outbreak of COVID-19. As the crisis unfolded, guidelines were rapidly put in place to mitigate the spread of the virus. Among these were the rules of social distancing and mask mandates. These guidelines, advocated by Dr. Fauci, heavily influenced our everyday lives, dictating our interactions and transforming our communities. But as time marched on, questions began to arise. Schools were shuttered, economies suffered, and the mental health of millions took a devastating blow. Was the cure worse than the disease? This question hung in the air as the world grappled with the fallout of these measures. The year 2021 brought a shift in the narrative. With the advent of the mask-optional phase, the cracks in our society began to show. Polarization was rampant, and the emotional toll of the pandemic became painfully clear. The trauma of the crisis left many hesitant to let go of the restrictions, while others chafed under the continued constraints. By 2023, the pandemic landscape had drastically changed. Vaccination efforts were well underway, and the guidelines that once seemed set in stone were being reevaluated. Dr. Fauci, once the unwavering advocate for these measures, was now in the hot seat. Then, in June of 2024, a bombshell dropped. Dr. Fauci admitted that the guidelines he'd advocated for were not based on scientific evidence. The world reeled at this revelation. Millions had suffered, and for what? The fallout of this admission is still unfolding, yet it brings to light crucial lessons. The importance of a balanced approach in a crisis is evident, as is the need to consider the potential negative impacts of public health measures. As we move forward, these lessons must guide our responses to future crises. To summarize, the events of the past 4 years have been a whirlwind. From the implementation of guidelines based on uncertain science, through the societal and emotional upheaval these caused, to the recent admission by Dr. Fauci, we've been deceived. The impact of these events will undoubtedly be felt for years to come. But through it all, one thing remains clear: the need for a balanced, science-based approach in navigating public health crises. As we navigate the post-pandemic world, we must remember these lessons, and not be a sheep believing everything you are told, no matter who it comes from. And though we cannot change the past, we can certainly learn from it, and we can punish those responsible. As of June 2024, it has been over 4 years since the pandemic was declared by the World Health Organization on March 11, 2020, and people are still wearing masks, which is very unhealthy. Wearing masks promotes the buildup of bacteria in the lower respiratory system for numerous reasons that I explained in my video on new studies on how CO2 accumulates in masks, extending the life of the COVID virus. I will link the video at the end of this one. After years of brainwashing people to wear masks and take vaccines based on science, Fauci has now admitted that the guidelines that doctors and patients relied upon had no foundation in science. People of the world need to ask why. Why did so many die? Why did so many people not listen to people that cared about them? Why did they attack others who were trying to help them see through these recommendations that were inconsistent with immunological principles? The people who were correct were victimized and villainized by design. Hopefully, some people will wake up from Fauci's admission because we have lost too many loved ones from this deception. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to subscribe, share, and let it out in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Do you know people that are waking up from this revelation by Fauci? Perhaps they will even begin to see that Fauci is not unique. He was a paid puppet by people without souls who believe that you are a useless feeder. Don't worry, things are moving along. Soon life will change for the better. I'm just so sorry the people that lost loved ones over these lies. Until next time, focus on healing your hearts.